But I want to give a reflection on this morning, amen. Something that just as the Lord has shared on this week. And especially parents, I believe, can relate to this. And that is that there are things that we try to teach our children. Amen. And one of the more frustrating things is when you have more than one kid. Because you're teaching them all the same things. It's not like you're teaching Johnny to do right, but you're teaching Sally to do wrong.
Right.
Amen. You're trying your purpose to instill the same values in them. And the frustrating thing comes when one of them gets it and the other one doesn't. And you wonder why, because you're saying the same things in the same way. And yet one gets it and the other one doesn't. And it can be so frustrating because it's like, well, why can't you just listen? Amen. And you don't want to say it, but you're tempted to go, your sister.
Yeah.
But you know you don't want to do that because that'll just entrench them even more. And I don't even know how it came this way, but the Lord spoke to me on this week. And he said that, you know, there are lessons that can be taught, and there are lessons that must be learned. And we have to understand the difference. And I believe a lot of times we can get frustrated because we're trying to teach somebody a lesson that they can't be taught. They can only learn that lesson. In other words, you can teach them all you want and say to them and come up with different ways, and you can push sometimes and hold back other times. You can try with the rod and you can try with sweetness. You can, you try all kinds of things in all different ways, and nothing seems to get through. But I believe because that person can't be taught that lesson. Amen? That's a lesson they're going to have to learn. So you've been telling your kid for years, amen, about brushing your teeth and how important it is to brush your teeth. You tried all kinds of things. Bubblegum toothpaste, SpongeBob toothbrush, amen, rewards, and yet they don't seem to do it. Amen. But you taught them, but they don't brush their teeth. Maybe that's a lesson that can't be taught. Maybe when they get 13, 14, 15, and they start liking girls or liking boys, and they go over to their friend and go, hey, they go, ooh. Now the lesson is learned. Amen? Now they know what you were talking about all those years. I need to get this crud off my teeth. But that's a lesson that had to be learned. And there's some people who are like that, amen? And one of the frustrating things is that when you try to teach a lesson to somebody who can't be taught, they can only learn it. And we got to ask God for the wisdom for the difference, because you could waste a whole lot of your time trying to get somebody to see something that they're going to have to experience on their own. So we want to ask God for wisdom, amen? Amen? Because it could lead to a whole lot of frustration on your part. And listen, let me tell you something. You got stuff to do. You got more than enough stuff to do. And you don't need to be wasting your time, your energy, and getting frustrated trying to teach somebody something and they're not able to be taught. And I say that not because they're not capable. It's something that they just can't grasp. Amen? And who knows why that is? It could be God ordained that person has to go through the school of hard knocks before that lesson is learned. So stop trying to teach them, amen? Ask God for the wisdom to know the difference. God, is this something I need to teach them? Or is this something they need to learn? And if God tells you, no, they just need to learn this, then you know what? You can lift up your hands and walk away. I've done the will of the Lord. Amen? All right? And pray for them, cover them with grace, surround them with your faith, but you will save yourself some time, amen? Tell that kid stop doing wheelies on the ice. He's still out there doing it. You ain't gonna stop him? He got to learn that lesson. But I gotta tell him, amen? Amen. And so we want to know the difference, amen? And so God has just dropped that in my spirit on this week, and I want to share it with you because I know, especially as parents, and even when you're dealing with older people, you try to advise and counsel people. And you wonder, why don't they get it? Why can't they see it the way you see it? It's so plain. It's right here in the Bible. You can show them all different ways. And they go, and they just still going to go out and do it anyway. Amen? Right. Let them learn the lesson. Amen? Not in meanness, but just say, you know what? I can't teach you. There's no harm in that. Right. Amen.